All right. All right, guys, and we are live. Hey, guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are taking a look at the latest open wheel blowout from Studio 397 for rFactor 2. I'll admit I had to do a little bit of researching before the stream to figure out how to actually pronounce the brand, and apparently it is Tatuus, or Tattoo. I'm almost thinking of it like tattoo and then is at the end, but you say it quickly. That's what I was finding from some YouTube announcement videos about different cars, so I guess it's the Tatuus open wheel cars. So, they have released three, or no, not three, six open wheel cars, all for free for rFactor 2. So, this has been sort of this big project they've been working on for a while now, and they have these six different cars spanning on all different disciplines. Two cars are Formula 3. So you see the one that's on the far left. That is a Formula 3. I believe it's the 2016 version. Then you get the 2018 version, which does have the halo, unfortunately, but you do have that. You also get different cars, such as the, let's see, we have the Formula 4, which was the 2014 version. You have the, all right, so there was the, all right, so as mentioned, there are two Formula 3 cars. There's the 2016 British Formula 3 car, the regional European 2018 Formula 3 car, and then the Toyota Racing Series, the Formula Toyota, which is used in New Zealand. You have, oh, it's a third Formula 3 car, so the F3 T318, which that is used in the F3 Asian Championship. And then you have the Pro Mazda and the US Formula 17 cars. So those are part of the Road to Indy. And there's a trailer that you can watch. It's on the rFactor 2 YouTube channel. So you can check that out. So this has some of the information talking about the cars that are available. So the Tatuus FT50, that was produced in 2014. And the specific car they used for data was the production number 26, I guess. 1.8 liter Toyota 4-cylinder engine, 205 horsepower. Exclusively run in the Toyota Racing Series in New Zealand. Lando Norris, Lance Stroll, Brandon Hartley, Robert Schwartzman, and Earl Bamber, they sort of got their racing legs on this. We also have the Tatuus Formula 4 T014. So that's a 2014 Formula 4 car. Production number 250. Another 1.4 liter engine, but this one from Abarth with 165 horsepower. So this is a worldwide series spanning car. Germany, Italy, Spain, United Arab Emirates. So you see, again, Lando Norris, Lance Stroll, Mick Schumacher, Enzo Fittipaldi, so a lot of big names in that. So we have that. The Tatuus MSV Formula 3 2016, production number 30, 2.0 liter Cosworth engine, 220 horsepower, big wings, as you can see. So this is the MSV Championship. Former champs include Billy Monger. It's amazing seeing what he's been able to do, though, after losing his legs. Linus Lundqvist, Jamie Chadwick, and Inam Ahmed. The Tatuus US Formula 2017, or USF 17, but it was produced in 2016. Production number 40. Mazda naturally aspirated engine, producing 175 horsepower. And this is identical to the F4 T014. Slightly larger brakes to handle the heavy braking zones that Road to Indy Championships have. The Tatuus Pro Mazda 18, produced in 2017, production model 40. This one has another Mazda engine. This one produces over 275 horsepower. That's freaking nuts for one of these feeder series. So it's another Road to Indy step. So you have the US Formula, then the Pro Mazda, then IndyCar, all in rFactor 2, which is nice. I wish RF2 had the modern IndyCar, though. Renee Butler, take note. We would love to see the modern IndyCar. And then last, I think, in this list, yep, is the Tatuus Formula 3 T318. So this is the new Formula 3 car from 2018. This one does have the halo. This is the only car in the pack that has the halo. It has an Alfa Romeo blown 1.7 liter engine, 280 horsepower. This car also has big wings, big tires, aero map very similar to the FIA Formula 3. So this runs in Asia Formula 3 and the regional WSK. So those are all of the cars in this pack. And let's stop talking about them and get into driving them. So we are going to fire up rFactor 2 and see how this goes. So I'm going to turn off display capture, make sure game capture is working all right. Yes, it is. Let's hope it's going to work. Hey, Wesley, how's it going, man? Still takes freaking forever to boot. That's one of the still slightly irritating things with rFactor 2, but this will get fired up. But yeah, I'm excited for this pack because this is kind of needed for rFactor 2, because one of the things I've always talked about with rFactor 2 is it's great driving, but they need cars that people want to drive. So, for example, looking at the open wheel roster before of this, we had the Dallara DW12. We had the Marussia, I think it's the MR12 or whatever it is, which is a 2012 Formula 1 car. We had the Formula Renault, which was originally the 2010 model, but they upgraded to the 2014, which the 2014 is nice, but still, that's a 5-year-old car. So seeing these newer cars that I believe are arguably at modern spec, that's pretty nice. And we can race these, and it's decent feeder championship series. So I, in theory, might consider trying to put together a league or something with these cars, because open wheel can be pretty darn fun. But still, this thing is taking freaking forever to boot. Hey, Adam Rainey, how's it going? Alright, so it should just about boot now. Also note that I did really have to uninstall some old deprecated mods and stuff I had for RF2, which that was long overdue. I had some really old stuff in here. So also the showroom, let me see. So the showroom, I believe I had an issue. I was using the F1 1990 or 1988 showroom. We need to use the exhibition hangar. So I believe when I was trying to jump into the showroom for various cars in previous streams, it wasn't working properly. So let's see where exactly. I believe, would it be under Tatuus? Yes. So under Tatuus in the vehicle selection, we have all the different cars. So the F3 T18s, the Formula 3 2016, Pro Mazda, US Formula, Formula 4, and Formula Toyota. I don't know if these are in order from slowest to fastest. It might be. I don't know how the Formula Toyota compares. But we have a few different liveries for the car. Pretty rudimentary, I'll say that. I am going to guess that the third-party community is going to have a field day making different liveries for these. So I'd say check out Race Department in the coming days and weeks. So let's check out the showroom and hope it works now. Yeah, Renee, you still don't have a modern Formula 1 car, though. You don't have one post 2014 when they moved to V6s, which some people might say is nice, some people might say isn't. It would be nice to see a modern one. And rFactor 2 is not responding. Uh-oh. Really? Well, that's not a good sign. Crashed into showroom. Whoops. Let's jump back in. Hopefully it doesn't take as long to boot now. But yeah. Yeah, Renee, if you added like the McLaren, even though it's the McLaren, I'd still say a lot of people would jump on it. I mean, look at iRacing Class A. Okay, so let's try this again. If this crashes again, I'm not going to jump into the showroom. So, let's take a look at the Formula Toyota. We'll just do number 5. And taking a while to load. Let's, fingers crossed, hope that this is... Okay, so, Renee, I'm in the rFactor 2 showroom, but we're getting this weird glitch. I don't know why we're getting this. It's just way too dark. So, if you could provide any input on why this is happening, that would be great. So, I've been getting this glitch for a while, which is unfortunate. You can barely see the car. Can try the F188 showroom, but I don't know if that'll cause a glitch as well. So, tuning. Let's see what happens here. Yep, still going on with the other showroom, which is slightly unfortunate, but we'll not stress about that right now. So, with that being said, also, with this new update, there was an update to the Risa Studio pack. So, we can check out Imola, and before it was 1972 and 2018. They now added the 1988 and 2001 layouts. So, that's nice of them seeing an update to that pack. So, we can check that out. And let's just try out the 2001 version, because I think that's the version I was most used to. And we'll just jump in, do a practice session. Is there a racing sim where you could race the Viper GT3R? I know it's not hardcore simulation, but I believe Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport have them. And beyond that, there might be a mod for rFactor 1 that has that. So, yeah. We'll see. But there isn't one, to my knowledge, that is first party. That would have the Viper GT3R. So, Lena J is saying that they have the loading error with the FT50. Let's hope that we don't have that. But yeah, I'm excited to test out this car. Generally, I've enjoyed the lower tier open wheel cars. They can be a lot of fun to drive, and we'll see how they translate over into rFactor 2. But yeah, these loading screens, I'm guessing it's also partly because it's building the shader cache. Try uninstalling the other showroom. That might cause the black showroom. Alright, I'll look into that after this, I guess. But yeah, so this should be fun. Yeah, AC mod, maybe. There's the Viper GT1 mod, I think. So, there's that. But I don't know about the GT3R. That's an entire different category. And it might, if even there is an AC mod for it, it might be some shovelware that was converted or ripped from Forza. So just want to make sure, okay, I need to remap the controls. because this was my old bedroom rig, which I was using with Thrustmaster. So with that being said, because we're now in my garage studio, I have to remap everything, unfortunate. So 100% sensitivity, because we're using load cell pedals. And then, let's see, driving, there should be ignition and starter. So yeah, I think, as you can tell with this implication, I have not driven yet in this. So we'll have to figure that out, and these are totally raw first impressions, so should be fun to drive. So down to about 30% force feedback. And because we did the remap, I am not getting the dynamic adjustments, so I believe we're at 400 degrees of rotation. Yes, we are. All right. Keep me posted on how the sound and audio is, and we need to do the pit speed limiter first. Or that's launch control, my bad. Pit speed limiter. There we go. Yeah, I like the blue on the rig. I definitely enjoy this rig. It is overpriced, admittedly, but it's a nice rig. I freaking love it. Alright, sounds are definitely rFactor 2 4-cylinder. Just get turned in. Get some heat into these tires. There we go. Okay, sound volume is good. Thank you for that. So I'm just trying to get an idea on my feel for the car on this outlap, because there are some parts of it that I'm definitely liking. So it feels very neutral handling out of the box. So I think this will be a very easy car for some people to really be able... Whoa, okay, I totally forgot that chicane. My bad. I'm so used to the Assetto Corsa version. Yeah, the rear view mirrors, those aren't good. The draw distance is horrible. I'm not sure if it's a setting I have, though, that I set wrong or something. I'll take a look at that shortly, because I thought you could have a longer draw distance in the rear view mirrors. But it's kind of funny. My biggest issue in rFactor 2 in regards to graphics is draw distance. In most of the elements of the sim, there's just this issue with draw distance, especially with shadows. So yeah, this is definitely neutral handling, slightly erring to the side of understeer, I think. Yeah, slightly erring to the side of understeer, so it's definitely suited for a feeder series car. This kind of car, it's oriented towards being on the understeery side, because it's easier to drive a car with understeer than it is to drive a car with oversteer. So I'm enjoying this car. It's very simple. It's easy to drive. I can imagine this being pretty difficult to get the full potential out of it. Seems pretty okay with trail braking. You can get the car stepped out a bit. Okay. I need to stop reading the chat right there. Alright, this time we'll get a good lap. Surprised I didn't get penalized for that. So yeah, the steering weight of the car is nice. You feel the car's steering tighten up a bit under braking. So it feels pretty nice, pretty authentic to these kinds of cars. Granted, I haven't actually driven this kind of car in real life, but I'd imagine that the steering system in this kind of car is kind of similar to go-karts, which I've driven. Where, yeah, it's very connected steering. It's heavier steering than you'd really think about. So under the brakes, yeah, it wants to pull the steering straight. A little late on the throttle there. So here, but yeah, this car basically is pretty self-explanatory. You just throw it in, and it'll do a pretty decent job of handling whatever you throw at it. And I think this is one of the lower tier cars in this pack. So it'll be interesting to see how the cars evolve as we move our way up the ladder. Let's try this in fourth, because I think this car can handle fourth. Easily, okay. Surprisingly sticky. For a low-speed Formula car. Needed to get a little better turn in there. We're almost 2 seconds up. Yeah, consider this is also a free pack. So these are free cars in the pack. We got a good line through there now. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the replay a bit. Okay, so I'm trying to remember how to... There we go. So, the sounds is still not that great. The sounds in this are very digitized. And yeah, it's slightly disappointing. So that's one of the things I think that really are frustrating, because the internal sounds are pretty good, but it just seems like lately the external sounds for the cars haven't been as great as they could have been. And I mean, I'm not really trying to complain about a free lunch here, but really, for external sounds, a lot of people might end up being disappointed. And for example, like league broadcasts, things like that. This would be a fun car to have in a low speed, wheel to wheel, open wheel series, but it just seems like the sounds are a little unusual. So yeah, but all in all, this car's a lot of fun to drive. It's good handling. It's a decent one to learn decent racing techniques. So I'm saying this is a fun car to drive, and it's leaving me a little excited for the rest of the pack. But you can see I'm doing a decent job with the racing line and stuff. Not perfect, but soon all right. All right, so let's jump into the next car in the pack. So yeah, I mean, it's better than what they used to be in rFactor 2. And it's definitely not like Gran Turismo quality, but kind of like the warbling sound in it. It sounds a little more digital than true, like, high quality sounds. That's my opinion. And sure, I mean, open wheel Formula cars are gonna sound weird like that. But with that being said, it's just one of those things that makes you go like, what? So actually, I think before we jump into the next thing, I'm gonna test that fix that Renee mentioned for the showroom. I want to see if that works. So let's take a look. So we can go into the content inventory, and there should be the showroom. So where would it be? F1 1988 showroom. So, this is interesting because there's the asterisk there. It's not letting me remove it. So Renee, is there a reason I can't remove this? Because that seems kind of weird. Because I thought I deleted F188 from the workshop and everything, but screw it. We'll get back on track. How about? But yeah, I'm enjoying these cars a lot. They're pretty darn fun to drive. And alright, that's just based off the first car. Now we're jumping to the second one. Armasfigas, I did unsub before the stream, though. So that's what I'm wondering about. Well, let me just make sure, because I'm 90% sure I unsubscribed on Steam. I'm just going to check real quick. Sorry, guys. So, subscribed items. F1 1988. Yeah, I'm unsubscribed from F188. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'll not stress about it too much right now. So, we're going up from the Formula Toyota 50 up to the Formula 4. So let's take a look. And for this, we'll try a different track. I am thinking, let's see, what would be a good course to drive on. I want to save Sebring for the faster cars, because I think that would be a lot of fun. Zandvoort might be nice, so we might take a look at that. I haven't really learned Botnia Ring, though. So... Oh, Donington Park. That would be a good one. I saw that there was this new mod that was released. Senyorman Tracks, I guess. Donington Park. And I'm curious about that because I really enjoy Donington Park. So, Blood Wolf, it's tricky because I really enjoy open wheel racing. Especially the lower down series like these. GT racing is a blast, though, at times. So, yeah. I'd say if I had to race a series, I think open wheel. Like, if I was forced into one discipline for my entire life, I would go open wheel. That would be my favorite, I think. Mills B Outer Loop. I'll try that with the next car, because, yeah, Mills is a fun course. Yeah, Laned, I must have uninstalled it recently because I guess it was like managing my systems or something. I had Croft installed previous to the Steam Workshop days, but I guess I just haven't really put it back on yet or something like that. But yeah, Croft is a great track. So, Donington Park. I'm curious to see how this compares with the Assetto Corsa or even the Project Cars 2 versions. But now you just wait for it to take forever to load. There we go. Alrighty. So, this is the Formula 4 car. Again, we need to change the force feedback multiplier. I'm generally doing about 30. 400 degrees, so that's just fine. Sounds pretty good, all things considered. I think this has a little more depth compared to what we were hearing in the Formula Toyota. Okay, so this feels actually slower than the Formula Toyota, I think. Also, this doesn't rev as high. Oh yeah, Laned, I can definitely see where you're coming from for that. I don't know if this is because it's a newer version of the track, but also I don't think that 2018 Donington Park in Assetto Corsa has that chicane being as off versus this. Granted, I've never driven Donington Park in real life, but this just seems a little lackluster. There we go. Thank you to whoever it was who subscribed. Thank you very much. But again, this feels like a very neutral handling car. more inclined to understeer there. Even though I stepped it out with mashing the throttle there. But yeah, with these feeder series cars, it always feels a little more inclined to understeer, which I kind of prefer in this. Hey, RC, how's it going? But yeah, this car is a lot of fun to drive. I'm enjoying it. Just throw the car in. There we go. It's interesting though, because under braking, you don't feel the steering wheel pull to the center nearly as much. Little wide there. Yeah, all in all, this car is a lot of fun. Again, it's largely similar to the Formula Toyota we just drove, but I'd say this is slightly slower. It just feels weird it revving to the point where it does. Because, yeah, it looks like it's only revving to about 6,000. Which just, it almost feels wrong to an extent. It almost feels wrong it only revving to 6,000. But, I mean, once you get used to it, this car drives great. And if it tries to do anything like oversteer on you, you can immediately catch it. Like that. It just feels so intuitive to drive. Get one more lap. But yeah, it drives smooth and you can just get a very good experience. Got a little loose through that corner and we're losing time. I wondered, this corner in fourth? Why not? Alright, brake for next chicane. There we go. Little wide there. And then after this, I'll share my thoughts on this car while doing the replay. Okay, that got loose there. But still, we were able to work out of it. Just mash the throttle, feel the rear end start to break loose, but it just still is sticky. Okay, that is an interesting sound out of the car. Definitely sounds like a low displacement four-cylinder car, because I believe this is a 1.4 liter four-cylinder car, and it's low revving. As mentioned before, it only revs up to 6,000 RPM. In terms of audio fidelity, I think this actually is slightly better than the other car we were driving earlier. I think this is slightly higher fidelity sound. I'm not saying I think this car sounds better overall, but I think in fidelity, this just has a little more depth. I think it's mixed a hair bit better. But yeah, so driving this car, very similar, very decent feel to it, which is nice, and you can just see it actually sticks to the corners pretty well. Beyond that, there's not really too much else to say about the car. It's fun to drive. And I saw that flappy arm dude in the background. So, interesting artifacts or elements in the crowd and stuff on this track, but I digress. So, this car is nice to drive. I think I preferred the other cars feel a little better though. So, I think the Formula Toyota is a slightly better feeling car. So with that being said, thank you to Acid20B for subscribing. Thank you very much. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. So, we are going to drop out of this and jump to the next car. Remember to download and try these cars at Okayama. Right now, I do not have Okayama, I believe. No, I do not. So, next up, I believe we were talking about Mills Outer Loop B. Yeah. I'm more used to Inner Loop A, but Outer Loop B, that should be fun to drive with. And we are jumping up to the US Formula 2017. So this is the lower step on the road to Indy that is represented in this pack. Above that is the Pro Mazda 18. So we are first going to do the lower tier and then jump up to the higher tier. I mean, that's pretty logical. Hello, Marcin. How's it going? But yeah, I'm enjoying this pack a lot so far. I'd say if Studio 397 rFactor 2 can get the modern IndyCar and modern Formula 1 cars, I think we could get a great thing going. Because they have the modern DW12, but that is already 7 years old. The IR18, I just think is a better looking car. It's more fun to drive in iRacing. There is a mod version of the IR18 in rFactor 2, but with that, it's not officially supported by Studio 397 or anything like that. So it would be nice to be able to promote rFactor 2 saying, we have the full motorsport ladder for open wheel or whatever. They could use for marketing jargon. Okay. So, our force feedback is too strong. That's why we were getting some oscillation there. I wish there was a global force feedback setting in the game, or in rFactor 2. Because for every car we have to do this. 400 degrees, yeah, that's good. So, Blood Wolf, I would say I'd likely go prototype class. And I think I would prefer the IMSA prototypes over the WEC. But also, we don't know what the hypercar class is going to be in next season. So, yeah, maybe I'd enjoy the hypercar class more. Man, I haven't driven this track in forever. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get used to this track. I want to say I haven't driven this track in maybe 4 years. That's how long it's been since I've driven this track. So yeah, this flat kind of sweeper-ish turn. And that's tight. Don't get stalled in the kitty litter. So the force feedback in this car is a lot stronger than what we had in the other cars. Same strength figure that we're using, 30% strength on my large Midge, but still, this is a lot more powerful force feedback, I think. Alright, now we have a rough idea on how this drives. Very rough track. You can just see the wheel shaking in my hands. Woo. That's intense. So I take this flat. Brake. Double apex. Gum or dental floss. That's literally just about all you could fit in this car, besides yourself. I know I'm not doing that corner right. Way off. Clutch in. We'll get this. I am so not used to this track, though. Actually, I'm not sure if I've ever driven this configuration. I've driven other configuration mills, but not that part specifically. There we go. So it also feels like this car is kind of set up to understeer as well. Might be a little more aggressive on trail braking like there. But I think this is a little more set up to understeer at speed. Like that. Oh my gosh, this is brutal. Those curves are brutal. Okay, too much speed. This corner's a killer. You have to take it so much slower than you think. But I know once you nail that line, it'll just feel great. So I'm 0 for 3 right now. Just turn in, throttle down. There we go. Totally missed that apex. Yeah, this is a fun track. I would like to see it maybe revised a little more, because this is an old rFactor 1 conversion. If they like modernized it a little more, I could see a lot of people enjoying this. But rFactor 2, I think they always are. ISI, they did a decent job with fictional tracks, which was nice. And then I'm not sure if Studio 397's done any improvements to this. We're gonna take this slow. Very slow. And then hard on the throttle, make the rear end step out. Alright, we've actually made it once. I'm liking the sound of the car, though. The interior sound is pretty nice.
43.74.
But yeah, the force feedback gives you a workout. This is a very bumpy track. You can just tell. There we go. Oh, a little wide. Apexed a little early there. I haven't really heard too much about the Hanway track, or Hanway, however you pronounce it. Alright, we'll do one more lap and then share my thoughts on this. Because I'm struggling more with the track than the car. That's my thing, so don't take me struggling on this track as an indication this is a bad car. This is a great car. Just feels so much fun to drive. It's just so much more brutal to drive too. So let's try to actually throw down a good lap. Hanoi, thank you. There we go. Broke a little loose there. Yeah, that car is intense. In a good way. So, oh hey Phil, sir, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in here. So, this car is intense. So this is the US Formula car. This is the base feeder, like one of the rungs to the Road to Indy. So yeah, that is interesting. It looks like it's similar design to a Formula 3-ish. It has the side pod intake there. And this is pretty quick. I'm liking this. So, with that being said, this is an intense car to drive. This is the first one that I'd say I might have struggled a little bit with. And part of that's this track. Part of that's I don't know this layout. So, that's part of it. But this one also, it's much more engaging force feedback. It's much more intense to drive, so that is something to consider, and it's making me wonder how it's going to be when we go up to the Pro Mazda. So the Pro Mazda will be very, very interesting, and we'll see how that goes. So the handling of this, it is definitely, again, more inclined to understeer with the base setup, so I bet you could tweak that, make it a little quicker, but I'm enjoying it. It is a fun car. So, next up, we're going to the Pro Mazda. So that should be fun. And I was thinking, so this is Pro Mazda 18. So, similar body style, it looks like. So if we go Pro Mazda versus Formula Mazda. So, the US Formula, it's a little sleeker in the airbox area. So this has a taller airbox because the airbox is above the head as opposed to on the side with this car. The rear wing looks slightly different. The front area is pretty close. Bigger wing on the Pro Mazda, so there's that. And I was thinking for this, we can go to the Indianapolis road course. So, Indianapolis 205. And let's go with the 2014 GP. That should be a fun challenge for his car. So yeah, it's interesting seeing the 2014 versus 2013 version of this. I admittedly, I think, have more of an experience with the 2014 lately, especially in rFactor 2. So Pro Mazda and F3 T318 have 100 horsepower more than US F17. So I think this is going to be more of a challenge. It should be interesting to see how it handles this track. I'm also interested in hearing how it sounds. Excuse me. One of the things I miss is the Star Mazda. The Star Mazda used the rotary engine. And that was a nice sounding car with the rotary. I believe the Pro Mazda just uses a 4-cylinder. Alrighty, so again, we have to go down to 0.3% strength. There we go. Hey, EOD, how's it going? Pro Mazda is the most powerful car that uses a Formula 4 chassis. Interesting. Exit the pits. Definitely the most powerful car we've tested. That's definite. Hey, Jip. Testing out these cars. Braking early. Oh my gosh, you can really feel the rear wheels breaking way. Woo! Okay, this car's starting to get exciting. Alright, looks like top speed about 150. I bet you can lengthen the gears a bit. Ooh, it's breaking free a bit. Whoa! Okay, this is fun. This is a fun car. Throw the car in, and it's interesting because, again, this car feels like it sticks pretty well to the track, but when you get on the gas, this thing will break free. So again, we're bumping at the speed limiter, or the RPM red line. But again, they've done a decent job with the setup. It's pretty neutral handling. Whew. This is an intense car, though. Pitch it in. There we go. Mess up that last corner a bit. Such a fun car, though. Oh my goodness. I can tell that this car does not like trail braking as much as the other cars we've tested. Because under trail braking, I've been noticing it's braking free quite a bit more. But oh my gosh, this car is so much freaking fun. I could definitely see why US drivers want to make it here on the road to Indy. Woo! Yeah, this car is lively in all the best ways. Oh my gosh. Alright, so let's talk about some of my thoughts on the Pro Mazda. So far, this is my favorite car easily. This car is just exciting to drive. It's intuitive. I'd say it is starting to get into the more challenging category. This is starting to be a bit of a challenge to drive. And that's a good thing. The setup, though, is remarkably easy. It's remarkably accessible. It's not going to throw you any weird loop. It's not going to just throw you out to the wolves, but this is a fun car to drive. I could see myself trying to put together a league with this, but I just need to figure out how to use league software or something like that. But this is a fun car. I'm really enjoying this. So I'm just wondering, what's next? Like, we're going up to the Formula 3 series, and I'm just curious on how it's going to handle and drive. So, with that being said, let's hop out of the Pro Mazda and head to the Formula 3. This should be a lot of fun. So, first off, we are going to race with, let's see, it's the 2016 Formula 3 car. So this is the F3016. I want to find a cool livery, though. I mean, I am kind of partial to black and red, but it looks like there's no black and red livery except for black, red, and yellow. That's black, white, and red. I think this one looks pretty cool. Number 24. So, we are going to try that out, and let's find a good track to drive. I am thinking Mid-Ohio might be nice, even though it's not really optimized for DX11, I think. Yeah, let's do Mid-Ohio. That would be fun to drive. With the chicane, though. We need to be able to throw the car off a bit. The MSV F316 is very different. A bit like the Skip Barber, a very loose rear and don't go off throttle. Okay, thanks for the heads up. We'll get an idea on how it feels. Our Mid-Ohio, they did update to DX11? Okay, well that's good. I might mix it up with their old version of Sebring, which I don't think they updated to DX11 spec. But yeah, Mid-Ohio should be a fun track for this car. I know it's a lot of fun driving the IndyCar here, but we'll see how it is with the Formula 3. So this is the version of the F3 car without the halo, which is nice. So getting a feeling for the steering. Wait for the green light. So it's, yeah, 6th gear. Oh my gosh! Okay! Okay! That was loose. So just get an idea on the track right now. second gear, not first. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that really gets squirrely in the first corner. So yeah, this car, I definitely, again, it's neutral handling, which is nice, but almost I'd say this one's more inclined to oversteer. Especially on the throttle. Throttle on oversteer. Actually, no, that's understeer. Whoa! Mixed with oversteer. So yeah, this car is definitely a challenge. Go. Okay. Yeah. This is a challenging car. Okay. Yeah, that would have damaged the front wing. If not for invulnerability. Yeah, EOD, I made a video talking about that topic before. Where in VR handles the halo better because wearing virtual reality simulates two focal points. So you can see through, like, if you have your hand above your eye. So with a single monitor, think like you're driving with one eye open. That's the problem. Alright, let's get a couple good laps in. So third gear there. Whoa. Oh, at least you can kind of catch the slides. I mean, that was more lack of skill on my end, I think. But this car is a lot of fun to drive, guys. It really is. It's a challenge, though. And at Mid-Ohio, which is also a challenging track in itself. Whew. I'd say this is more difficult than the Indy cars. Switch my arm a bit. This is such a fun car to drive, though. And best of all, it's free! Well, that's one of the things I'm loving about this pack. It's that you're getting high-quality cars for free. This is the kind of stuff that will serve as good marketing opportunities for rFactor, rFactor 2. That they can say you have these great cars for free. They need to figure out a way to better distinguish their in-home content versus the mod content, because the Steam Workshop, it's a great idea, but it's tough to really convey that to people looking to just get into rFactor 2. That's one of my struggles. Like, that's one of the tough things. The main difference is this car, it has more downforce, definitely, but it's also quite a bit faster. Actually, I think almost the US Formula was faster in some corners. Or not in some corners on the straights. Because right now we're in 6th gear, 140, 145. So yeah, actually on the straight, I think the US Formula has more speed. The Pro Mazda, though, just would school it in the corners, I think. Actually, no, wait. We're driving the Formula 3, sorry, different car. I'm getting them mixed up. They're just so much fun, but we're just mixing them up right now. But yeah, so I think the US Formula, or not US Formula, the Pro Mazda is a little faster than this, actually. But this is still a very fun car. I'd say this is more challenging, though. It's a little more squirrely, especially on the throttle. But I think once you get used to it, it's a great car. The TA18, have we driven that yet? I'm not sure. I think that's the next one. Or was that the Toyota? But you can just see this car is just so intense because with more air pushing it to the ground, you feel every single bump more and more. So it gives your arms a workout. So after this, we're jumping to the 2018 car. We'll start off with the Asia car and then jump to the WSK car. Alright, so let's... Okay, so this is... Whew, this is intense. So yeah, the sounds are alright. It's a little better than the other car that had the similar engine note but I complained about. This one has a little more depth. It sounds like it's a little more spacious. It's a little better sounding, interacting with the space around it, which is nice. But yeah, this is so intense. Whew. But yeah, this car, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'd still say that the Pro Mazda is my favorite of the pack so far. This is a great car. It's a workout to drive with. It's intense. A lot of fun to drive. I just think the Pro Mazda is that much better. It's just such an enjoyable car. But this one is definitely a lot of fun as well. This one is true challenge, but I'd say it's worth it. Okay, so that was the Formula 3 2016, and now we're jumping up to 2018. So, we're gonna do the F3 T18 Asia. You can just see this one has a much more aggressive line to it. Like, much more aggressive look. There is the halo, which I believe you can turn off in the tuning menu. Yeah, you can do transparent halo. So for this one, we'll do 10% transparency. We'll give that a try. And since we're doing the Asian Formula 3 car, we're going to do Matsusaka. Not Suzuka, but close enough. Should be fun to drive this car. We should get a wide variety because there's some very slow corners and then some incredibly fast corners. So we'll get to feel an entire myriad of corner feels for this car. Great test of performance of this puppy. And we'll see where to go from there. So, Gesper says the TA-18 sounds dope. Well, we're about to test it out for ourselves. So, EOD, this is not the actual track. It is just showing representative of it being a figure-8 circuit. This is Suzuka. So, if you know the track Suzuka, which sometimes has hosted the Japanese Grand Prix, and I believe still does, then you'll get an idea. It's just the track map looks really weird. I do not know why they decided to make that decision to make the track map look like that. Hold on. Oh, I'm getting a little parched. Sparkling water real quick. So this is how Studio 397 handles the halo issue. You can see it's 10% transparency, but we need to turn down the force feedback before we go onto the track. So 30% strength. All right, rolling out to the track. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that snapped out. Okay. It's interesting because I'm so used to driving these with this track with Formula One cars. It's interesting feeling it with a lower powered car. But this is, oh my gosh, it is sticking like glue. Oh my gosh, okay. Yep. This is an intense car. A lot of fun though. Even from this first half lap I've been driving with. Hey Tim, how's it going? So I wonder if we can take 130R flat? Yes, we can. This is just a fast car. So, take this first corner, almost flat. And you just feel the car struggling into those first few corners, trying to break free. And then going through the S's. Throttle control and use the brake just a tad to pitch the car in. There we go. This car just feels so planted. But if you just get on the throttle too hard, this car will break free. Such an intuitive car. Again, they've done a great job with this. It's remarkable feeling how more planted and stable this car is versus the 2016 Formula 3. Some people might prefer the livelier handling though, I think. Right there, you just saw the car, the nose just pitch in and then slide out. It's an interesting feeling, but it's a good feeling. You get an idea on what the car will do, and you get the understanding of it, which is very nice. Again, a little too wide there, but we could still keep control. And I'd say, yeah, this is easily the best interior sounds we've heard all day. Clipped the grass right there. Thankfully, it didn't pull us off the track. I think in that first part of the turn we could take him in fourth, but third is just a little conservative. Again, heading up to 130R. At 146, 147. Okay, one more lap and we'll share our thoughts on this and then move to the last car and track combo. .157. All right, so go flat in turn one. And then too much speed, car washed out a bit. There we go. Carry the speed. Turn in. A little late to the throttle there. So, fourth gear, third gear next corner. There we go, that's a good line. These cars do not have DRS. And hard on the brake. 157 was the last lap? 156, okay. Now let's listen to the exterior sounds. Easily the best sounding car of the pack, I think. Love that clunk of the gear shift. I think it might be a hair overblown, but it might not be. But yeah, just that car looks awesome. If only it didn't have the halo, in my opinion. I could imagine it looking a lot better without the halo. And hey Shane, how's it going? But yes, this car is a lot of fun to drive. I'm just gonna say that. This is intense. But speaking of intense, let's get to our last car and track combo of the stream and share our thoughts on that. So that was the Tatuus, the Asia version. Now this is the WSK version. And I'm trying to remember what WSK stands for. I can't remember off the top of my head. Like World Series something? I don't know. So yeah, again, the liveries are pretty basic. The 17 one looked pretty cool though. But also liveries come down to personal preference, and I believe race department will be chock full of liveries later on. Yeah, let's go to number 17, and let's go for the most intense track that I could really think of for driving an open wheel car, and that is Sebring. Sebring with the bumps should be absolutely brutal. I might be slightly masochistic. But yeah, so this, I'm guessing same performance as the Asia version. That would be my guess. I don't know for certain, but still just want to give this a try, give this a go, and see how this performs on Sebring, because this should be very, very heavy duty on the force feedback, and especially with a direct drive. So yeah. So this is the large midge open sim wheel. I am using it with the Fanatic Formula Carbon rim. It is utilizing the Sim Racing Machines Club Sport wheel adapter. So that's what I'm using. Hold on a second. Let me check. But yeah, I did get to shameless plug time. I did get to test out the Fanatic DD2 series wheel. If you haven't checked out that video already, it is available on the channel. I went flat out in the first corner in Sebring with the Asia version. Oh boy. Formula 3 WSK. Let's see what that stands for. So it is, yeah, World Series of Karting. So WSK, they put together the Formula Regional European Championship. So WSK puts together the Formula 3 European Championship. The more you know, right? All right. So force feedback down to 30% again. Excuse me. The downside of sparkling water. Refreshing, you get that bite without the calories of soda, but you sometimes get gas. All right. Time to drive Sebring. But yeah, I just looked it up on Wikipedia, and WSK, they do put together the European Championship. Oh my gosh, these bumps. You can already feel them. I'm trying this with the full halo now. I love the throttle off sound of this car. The throttle off sound is absolutely awesome. Just throw it into that chicane. Not chicane, alright. It's a kind of U-turn into a chicane-ish. That's always a weird corner. Or a hairpin. But it's not really a hairpin. Okay, this is just so intense on the arms. Right here on the back straight, the old, or the portion that is the old airport. Okay, turn 17. This is gonna be brutal. Oh my gosh. Murder on your arms in the best possible way. So the other guy was saying he could go flat out, turn 1. Let's see. Whoa, that's way too much understeer. That car did not want to turn there. I might have turned in a little late though, I don't know. But that car just did not want to turn. Go, swing the car in. Swing out. We overcooked the corner there. With the sun going down, it's also a little tricky. You don't get to see the track nearly as much. Yeah, Too Old for Forza, this is also a Formula 3 car. The Tatuus is, in Assetto Corsa, is the Formula Barth, if I remember correctly. Oh my gosh, that car, it just got so unsettled right there. Hey Gary, how's it going? So let's see. We are going to try lifting a bit. Yeah, you can't take this flat. You can't. You have to use the brake a bit. So I don't know if the Asia is a different car or something, or if he set it up to take it flat, but you can't. I don't think you can take the first corner flat on this track with this car. But yeah, again, they've nailed the baseline setup for this car, in my opinion. The baseline just feels incredibly accessible. Granted, this is, I think, the most challenging car of the pack. So actually, no, I'd say the 2016 car is the most challenging car of the pack. This might be second. Yeah, I'd say this might be the second challenging, or most challenging car in the pack. But this car is just so much fun. Whoa. So let's get one good lap in, and then we'll go to the external camera and share my final thoughts on this pack. This car is just so much fun, though. I'm just going to say that. But turn 17 is a killer. You can just see it upset the car so much. So we'll need to just dab the brake a little bit, and then we can make the first corner. There we go. There we go. My arms are sore right now, I'll say that. This is with 30% strength. Whew. Just hard into the brakes here, and then on the throttle out. Slow down for the corner. Again, this thing just sticks so well to the track that you really have to be abusive with your right foot to break the car free a bit. And if the car breaks free, you have to be quick or else you'll be facing the wrong way. Oh, come on. Guess we'll have to do one more lap. That's the Sebring. So one more lap, guys. We have to get a validated lap. Oh my goodness. Just the feeling over turn 17 is brutal. Oh, shoot. We didn't get it validated, though. Just caught the curb and it shot me off. turn 17 is just a killer on this track. Whew. Oh my gosh. This car is a total beast. So much fun to drive. Good looking car, fun to drive, intense. What more could you ask for? Well, I mean, you can ask for no halo, but oh my gosh. This car is so much fun. And it sounds great to boot. This is easily the best sounding car of the pack. This and the Formula 3 Asia 2018 car. You can just see how this car behaves, how it dances on the track. It's so intense, but yeah, this is, I'd say, the second most challenging car behind the 2016 Formula 3. My favorite of the pack, though, I would say is the Pro Mazda. The Pro Mazda is a blast to drive. So that is something to consider. All these cars are a blast. They are all super fun to drive. They're pretty accessible for open wheel cars, which is nice. They're not too much of the crazy high downforce cars. That is something to consider. But I am just doing the stuff to test it out right now. I might try to... Oh my gosh, look at that. On the bump, it caught air. That's like close to catching air. That's 3 tires off the ground right there on that bump. That is nuts. I'm capturing that screenshot. Just watch it full speed. That is insane. That is why Turn 17 is insane and so much fun at Sebring. But getting back to this topic, I might consider trying to put together a Pro Mazda League. That would be a lot of fun. Tim, the reason I kind of have this cropped right now is usually I stream ultra wide, but for some titles I have to crop down to 1080p. So that is basically why I have it this way right now. And so usually it's full width with my cameras and information underneath. But for this, I had to do 1080p, or else it just takes up too much in the way of system resources. But yeah, so this is just so much fun to drive with. And then, yeah, you can check out the different cameras. So this is the T-cam on top, the nose cam. And you can just see they put detail into the car models. There's actually legitimate detail and care put into it. The airbox looked a little weird though. So if you look at the airbox, it looks like it's not like fully modeled. But yeah, so yeah, they put decent quality work into this. Now, the airbox looked a little weird, but apart from that, this is a great car. And it's part of a great pack. And also not just that, part of a great free pack. That is something really big. So, with that being said, I highly recommend you check this out. These are some of my new favorite cars in sim racing, I think. That Pro Mazda is just so much freaking fun. So, yeah, if you don't own rFactor 2, especially with the Steam sale going on, there's with the Steam sale, you can go check out rFactor 2. I think it's 50% off. This comes for free. And if you like what you're doing, you can also get some of the other packs. But this, if you own rFactor 2, it's a freaking no-brainer. This is just so much fun. But with that being said, guys, I am going to wrap up the stream. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going from these open wheel cars to F1 2019. So I'm going to be doing some more streaming of F1 2019 next afternoon, so stay tuned for that. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a good one.